We have a neighbor that is renting a dozer for the week, and they offered to let us have it for a day. So we got to move all this wood earlier than we anticipated so that we can clear this garden area for next year. So we're going to fix up some pallets, get them in the bottom of the woodshed, and move all this wood over there, and then finish clearing up this area so that we can get that done. I think they're all pretty solid on like the ends, and then the middle is sparse on all of them.
Well, I think that bottom one looks pretty rough, just looking at it. And like this one, I think this might end up being our best one. Mostly just because when you look at it, it's got a board all the way on the end, all the way on the end. That one doesn't. Oh, this one actually seems. Curious how it's gonna, you want me to stand on it for leverage? When I did the pallet project, I had to just cut them off with the sawzall because it wasn't working for me. Oh no, it's shorter.
Really?
Yeah. So the pallet that we took apart, the boards are actually shorter than the one that we decided to keep. So we're just going to alternate it where, you know, it has an overhang and a gap on this side, and then it'll have that gap on the other side. And we'll just alternate all the way as we fill in this top. We're not going to worry about filling in the bottom. We're just going to fill at the top and call it good. We have a lot of nails to take out now. I think that looks pretty good. Oh, I should have made sure that was lined up on the other side, and it was not. Starting off strong, Lori. Oh, goodness. Well, oh well. first one will be. Oh my gosh, you scared me! You snuck up on me! You didn't sleep for very long.
No, she woke up like immediately.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So it's gonna sit like this in there now, which I still don't think there's enough space. No. Next one, let's build in place. We passed. Maybe it's just wide enough for us to be able to sneak in also. That's okay. Ignore the cracks.
Now, do you want to just chuck it to one side or center it or what? What do you want?
Yeah, I think we should have it all the way up against a side. So Cody doesn't really have a preference, but I'd like to have a mixture of both spruce and birch when we stack it. So as he's checking in all the birch, I'm going to throw in all the spruce and just kind of hope it turns out that way. We have a lot more birch than we do spruce.
In this pile, at least, yeah. We've got a lot more spruce back there.
Yeah, oh, the stuff we're only moving the split stuff right now.
Yeah.
I would say my finger's still feeling pretty good, but there's a couple times that I still hit it on something and ooh, it hurts.
Good for one load?
Alright, sounds good. that's too far back.
Very nice to be able to just pull right up to the woodshed though. Huh?
Right? Like, yeah. So we do have enough space wrapping around this as of right now. So, you also have to keep in mind that these birch are way longer than ours are.
Just space them out a little so just fill in the back row only.
Well, I just put that there so I could kind of see how I was lining up.
Just fill in the back row and then set the next row in front where it fits.
Okay. Kind of. I mean, I still think that the rain is a lot more problematic because the rain will hit and soak into everything, whereas the snow just sits on top of it for the most part.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Weird one over there. Oh, that's a heavy one.
Wet.
We're almost done rowing. We are so close.
One of the last things we need to move out of this new garden area is a project I started in the spring, but never ended up getting around to finishing. So it's been here under this tarp all summer. I hope it isn't ruined from moisture, but we'll see. I'll pull it out, get it in the truck, and then we'll probably put it up in the loft area of the woodshed. Looks like the top one or two may not be good up on the table because I think the water pooled there on the tarp, so it kind of soaked into those ones. And then we'll see about the bottom ones underneath these poor sawhorses that collapsed. Otherwise, it looks pretty good for the most part. All of these are planed down to 3/4 of an inch. And then I cut thicknesses on the ones that were deemed good boards, and then the ones that were checked or cracked, we left the bark on still to determine how we wanted to use those. And what these were actually supposed to be is siding boards for the outside of the house. So the top side, the board would go this way. Top side has a bit of a cove to it, so it kind of curves like this. And then bottom side is your normal shiplap, so it's a 90-degree angle. So not exactly a shiplap siding. I know people do shiplap for the outside of houses a lot, but I went with a Dutch cove just so it'd shed water if any did get behind there. It seems silly to have rain push up against a board, and then if my board warped at all, it would cause the rain to sit back in the corner of the groove, and with this cove it should make it shed. So that's why we decided to do it that way. But running that router down all these boards was rough work, so that's why it ended up going on pause while we started working on the woodshed after that clearing showed up. But they look like they're in pretty good shape. I'm gonna get them loaded and then get them up in the woodshed. My sawhorses didn't fare well, but it seems the rest of it looks pretty good. It's a good load of planed 3/4 inch boards. These ones are all the same thickness. These ones are all slightly thinner. And those ones all have the live edge. So I'm sure there'll be projects I can use them for if I don't use them for siding, but I think they're most likely going to be used for outdoor siding yet.
Well, the rented dozer that our neighbors got that has a little bit of extra time on it is here. Cody and I just finished moving all of this stuff out of the woods behind me over here. So I figured I'd kind of do a quick pan as a little before shot before he starts getting to work. All right, see if I can stand in the same spot later too. So this is what we're looking at. There you go. Ooh. Yeah. Now he's confident. Oh, it already feels so much more open with those 4 trees gone. And now it's time for some cleanup. So we've got a fire going to burn off some of these branches. It's currently raining outside, so this is the best time to do it. Since it's all wet and alive, it's not burning very well. But it's getting there. So unfortunately, the timing of the dozer, which was amazing that we were able to have it, but it rained the entire time, which did not make it super ideal because the clay kind of got spread everywhere that we didn't necessarily want it to be spread, and it was kind of just unavoidable. We couldn't change that. So we do have a bit of hand shoveling to do, just kind of like a fine top layer where it just kind of got spread out over top of our gravel. So now we need to get to work and do a lot of shoveling as well. Does work out pretty well though, because we're able to shovel up this clay and then we can go drop it over there where we have some low spots to kind of fill them in. So not the worst thing, it's just a little bit more manual labor. We have our load of clay, and then you can kind of see where I shoveled from. So the goal is we're going to have mostly where our high pathways are, so getting in for the generator and freezer, around for the wood shed, and then kind of following this to the house. We already kind of did off in front of the house, so now we just kind of need to finish off this strip, and I think that's all we're going to tackle by hand. It's a lot of work, so I really want it done though, because it is going to make a big difference just for us walking, and it is good to get it done as soon as possible where we're not walking on it and when the snow doesn't pack it down, because that will make it harder to move in the long run. So
clearing is going to be real nice for us next summer. I got most of those 5 birch over there cleaned up and cut into sections for eventually being put into the woodshed for firewood. I'm sure we'll end up doing a video on firewood for this winter. And then I've got all the big sections that once we have our solar kiln all set up and finished, we'll get those milled and in there, and we'll likely be doing a video on that. But as for this clearing, it is super nice being able to see more out here, and our plan for this initially is for a larger outdoor garden that's going to go all the way to the greenhouse. We initially thought that we'd go all the way to the back of the house, but plans aren't real set on that yet, so we're going to discuss that a bit more and see what we come up for next spring.